Have you ever loved someone so deeply you thought it would last forever? And then one day you woke up and the feeling was just gone. It's a confusing and often heartbreaking experience, not just for the person being left, but for the one whose feelings have vanished. You start to question everything. Was it ever real? Am I a bad person? What happened? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. The truth is, this sudden loss of feeling is rarely as sudden as it seems. It's more like the final straw that breaks the camel's back. So why does this happen? Well, one of the biggest reasons is what psychologists call emotional burnout. In the beginning of a relationship, everything is exciting. You're high on dopamine and oxytocin, the love hormones. But relationships require work. They require communication, compromise, and constant effort. One person feels like they're the only one putting in the work, constantly giving without receiving. It leads to exhaustion. Think of your emotional energy as a bank account. If you're only ever making withdrawals and never any deposits, you'll eventually go bankrupt. That's emotional burnout. The sudden disappearance of love is often the moment your emotional account finally hits zero. Another major factor is unresolved conflict. Every couple argues, that's normal. But it's how you handle those arguments that matters. If issues are constantly swept under the rug, if feelings are dismissed, or if the same fights happen over and over with no resolution, resentment starts to build. Each unresolved argument is like a small crack in the foundation of the relationship. For a while, you can ignore them. But over time, those tiny cracks spread and weaken the entire structure until one day, the whole thing just crumbles. That sudden collapse was actually months or even years in the making. We also have to talk about personal growth. People change. The person you were when you were 20 is not the same person you are at 30. Your values, goals, and priorities evolve. Sometimes you and your partner grow together like two trees whose branches intertwine. Other times you grow in completely different directions. You might start to realize your life goals are no longer compatible. Maybe you want to travel the world, and they want to settle down. Neither is wrong, but you're on different paths. The love might fade because you no longer the same two people who fell in love in the first place. This realization can feel sudden, but the divergence has been happening slowly all along. And finally, there's the loss of the self. In some relationships, one person can become so wrapped up in their partner's life that they lose their own identity. Their hobbies, friends, and even their personality start to merge with their partner's. At first, it can feel like a beautiful union, but over time it can lead to a sense of emptiness. You wake up one day and don't recognize the person in the mirror. That feeling of losing yourself can trigger a powerful, almost primal need to break away and reclaim your identity. The love for the partner gets confused with the loss of self, and the only way to find yourself again feels like letting go of the relationship. So, if you're going through this, or have been on either side of it, remember it's rarely a simple or sudden event. It's a complex process of burnout, unresolved issues, personal growth, or losing one's identity. Understanding these underlying reasons can help bring clarity and compassion, both for yourself and for the other person. It's a painful experience, but it's also an opportunity to learn more about what you truly need in a relationship and in life. Thanks for watching, and if this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content like this. See you next time.